Hi Scorpio, this is Morgan with Compass Rose Astrology, and today we're going to be going through your tarot and astrological reading for the month. And we are going to first talk about the transits, and then we'll talk through a tarot reading with you, and then we will pick an oracle card for you. And just so you know, this is a reading that's typically for rising signs, but if you have strong Scorpio placements, like it's your sun or moon, or you have a stellium there, then this is still a great video for you. You can also go ahead and watch any of the other videos that relate to your sun or moon sign too, and that should give you a little bit of insight into what's happening for you this month, what might be most powerful for you. And we're basically going to go through everything about what kind of archetypes and symbolism you might see in your life and how it could manifest for you. And at the end, I'd love to hear if any of this resonates with you, or if you have any fun stories to share, because I'm all ears. I would love to hear. All right, let's get started. So for our transits this month, we have a lot going on for you between the 3rd, 4th, and 5th house. All these planets are going to be experiencing of a conjunction of a sort, and we also have Venus at the end of the month is going to be going into your 6th house of Aries with Jupiter, which is really beneficial actually. So I think you might find a kind of an uptick in your health, and like mostly your physical health. And also it could be around like people that work for you or your pets, something really beneficial. Or a pet could come into your life, or if you work with farm animals, it could also mean that you might have a new farm animal, or like it's something along those lines, or you might find a new one, just kind of randomly. It's fun stories that come up with the 6th house. And we also have, I think most importantly for you, since you are Mars ruled, we have Mars in the 8th house, and it's been in there for about 7 months at this point. And it's an important planet for you because it does rule your 1st house, and it's probably been activated pretty heavily. So we can look for any sorts of karmic debt, any themes around what people owe you and what you owe people, because that's symbolized by the 8th house. And before we jump into the tarot reading, I'm just going to cleanse the space. I have a cleansing candle that I made, and then we have a sage bundle to also clear any negative energy and make space for positive energy and messages to come through. And thank you so much, Spirit, for providing guidance to Scorpio. We ask for clear messages that allow Scorpio to find their highest good, and I appreciate all guidance and all messages. Thank you so much, Spirit. Okay. So let's get started. All right. So, Spirit, do you have any messages for Scorpio this month? Okay. More messages for Scorpio in the month of February. Okay. Okay. So, honestly, I think what's happening here I would say it's more tied to your 3rd or your 5th house. And the reason I say this is because what struck me first when these cards came out is that it feels like at the beginning of the month you're going to have either, honestly, it feels like that there's something that's happening if you have siblings, or if you have someone very close to you that you want to make a decision regarding yourself, but I feel like you've been held back a bit. And it could be because of some of the people around you. Not saying it's definitely a sibling, but it could be something around you. It could be possibly a vice that people around you have and that you've had with them. Like it could be maybe maybe it's a sense of like not being too active and like not trying to put yourself out there. And it's maybe because the people around you don't really do that at all either. And there's going to be a moment for you where you realize, hey, this is really holding me back. Like, I can't keep doing this just because this is the way that they want me to be or live. Especially because we have Six of Swords, and this to me is kind of the card of coming into your own and saying goodbye to things that don't serve you anymore. And I know that's a really cliche thing to say, but we have that kind of paired with a Hanged Man card, which is the hang around and wait card. And it's also the card that isn't afraid to just fall into its own bad decisions and bad habits because it really doesn't want to keep moving forward. And I think that's something that you've been trying to work on for a really long time, I think. And I think you're finally going to come to the point where you want to move forward. Like you're stuck in this, being in this limbo phase of like not wanting to hurt anybody or change anything. Really, it feels more like but I've been comfortable where I am kind of thing. And I really do think that with Mercury passing over Pluto, so this is on the 10th, I think you might be experiencing this around that point of time. And yeah, I do also think that this is something around your 5th house. So something that brings you pleasure or joy. This could be hanging out with other people. It could be drinking. It could be indulging. It could be spending money. Or maybe burying yourself in work. Okay. Oh, love it. Okay. One more card first. Oh, not one more card. Okay. Well, Spirit has a lot to say to you today. Let's see if I can interpret this. Okay. So first off, I think you're going to have the courage to come forward with something and to put something out there that maybe you didn't have the courage to before. And it's going to take you from this 7 of Pentacles to this 8 of Pentacles. So instead of like being like, yeah, but you know, I really should do this, you're going to be going from the shoulds to kind of putting something into action and then putting it out there for the world to see. And I really do think that you're going to have a lot more support than you anticipate, but this is very much like a transformation of you from the Hanged Man to the Empress. And like here we have the Empress. She's the most incredible card. I love getting her. And here you're showing up from someone that instead sits around and waits and is like, and it's just on this one issue. Like you don't have to be someone that's stagnant in other areas of your life, but it's just maybe you don't want to feel like you're hurting other people's feelings, or you also aren't fully sure that you can go forward with this because you've never done it before successfully. And you're like, well, I don't know if this is the right thing to do. And we have the Page of Wands, Empress, and the 8 of Pentacles. And this is incredibly, I think this is beautiful. This is really successful and really like just getting kind of down into the details. This is really caring about what comes next and not being afraid to take that step. Honestly, the Page of Wands isn't much about planning. So, and I think it's saying that you don't have to have a plan. You don't have to know every step, but as long as you work on it, it will be successful. And I also think that you're going to have support. So I think that there are two people showing up in your life and they're not seeing eye to eye. So we have someone that's showing up as the Queen of Wands, and then we have someone that's showing up as the Page of Pentacles. And I think that's where you're possibly having a bit of a conflict here. And it's not with you, but it might be over you. Like maybe one person has, or maybe they both think that they have a better idea, or you could be... You could also be seeing potential in someone that should be showing up as the Queen of Wands, and instead they're showing up as the Page of Pentacles, which is like great. Like they can start off, they can maybe follow in your footsteps, but they just are having a hard time embodying anything more than that. And that might be like causing a bit of conflict. Like if this is a sibling, like perhaps you're like, well, you can do this with me. Like you can work out with me, even though our family isn't very athletic. Why don't you do this with me? And they're like, no, I don't want to. But you think that it would be really fun and that they could do it because maybe they have a past of being athletic. Oh, this is wonderful. Look at this. Okay, one more card for Scorpio. Wow, okay, so Six of Cups is pretty loud today. So I do think this could be someone, this could be even like your kid. If this is like your 5th house, this could be someone that maybe you're trying to change to be their role model as well. And either way, whether you want to be a role model or not, I really think that you're going to come out of this like inspiring people. And look at this. I just think this is beautiful. You go from the Hanged Man to the Empress to the Judgment card. This is absolute freedom. This is a really beautiful transformation on your part, and I think other people are going to see it, and they're going to be inspired by it, and they're going to... I think it's also something that maybe you've dreamt about being like since you were young, or that like maybe you always had this sense of success within you, but you weren't sure how to put it into motion. And this is going to lead to incredible happiness for you. I really do think that this is the right step in the right direction, and it's going to lead you towards absolute fruition of your dreams and goals. And whether, you know, this could be, like I said, if it is the 5th house and like, you're like, well, I need to start, I don't know, let's say you want to start working out so you can be healthy and active with your kid, just as like an example. And especially because Mars is your ruler, it's a very strong planet, very active planet, and it's in the 8th house right now. So maybe you're realizing that there are some things that you need to do to take care of yourself, and you want to do it for your kids, or you want to do it for your family, or you want to do it for your friends to inspire them. And it's going to inspire other people so that you find your tribe, and that you either the people around you will match you on your really high level here, or you will find other people to match you on this level. And so there's never going to be a sense of loneliness or selfishness at all. Like, this is really, really beautiful. I think you've had a real change, and it's really allowing you to become the core essence of who you want to be. It's really allowing you to get in touch with that path and that purpose, and that just sense of who you are that maybe you've been missing for a while. And let's see if we can get an oracle card. So wonderful. Okay, so this is the Lantern Oracle deck. This is the key to intimacy. Intimate love is a core need to be met in relation to ourselves and those closest to us. The journey to intimacy often includes learning what love is not. That's really incredible, Scorpio. Let me read from the guidebook so that I can make sure that we get all the clearest messages here for you today. So, regardless of whether we've received unconditional love while growing up, coming to know and accept ourselves in such a manner is challenging. Unconditional self-love is necessary, and there is a learning curve for being able to allow another to see into us and accept all that we are and are not. This includes our most raw and least flattering shades. We all have them. It is desirable but not easy to let a deserving other into our lives deep enough to know our full spectrum. Once we can know, accept, and love all of who and what we are, we become fully available for another to accept the totality of us too. It also builds in us the strength and integrity to walk away from those who cannot genuinely respect or accept us, rather than internalizing their judgment, rejection, or desire to change certain parts of us. Developing the capacity to honor and care for ourselves despite our flaws and shortcomings also equips us to hold loving space for others without judgment, conditions, control, or petty rejection. The journey to self-intimacy further teaches us the value and beauty of our flaws. We learn to recognize any challenge that tests the intimate space we share with another as an opportunity to grow closer and stronger from working through it together. The purpose of obstacles is not to create distance or stop us, but to enrich further contact and expand us. Intimacy is as much about accepting each other's differences, struggles, and uniqueness as it is about respecting one another's boundaries. The key to intimacy with another leads to knowing, valuing, and supporting each other's paths. While it is necessary for our paths to parallel and be faced in the same direction, it is essential for them not to enmesh. Be careful to whom you trust the key for your heart. The featured mother, this character, wishes to remind you that pure love, respect, and integrity use what is uncovered to lift, support, protect, care about, and empower you. In any instance that a person should prove unworthy of the key you have entrusted them with by using it for anything untoward, change the lock. It is never okay to have the sacred trust disrespected or abused. You always hold the right to take back your power. The same holds with you in regard to another's trust. Be equally honorable and respectful of how you treat any key given to you. If you ever need to hand a key back, do so. In respect of the intimacy you had once shared with this individual, continue to manage with integrity and discretion what was exposed and trust to you. I think that's really beautiful, Scorpio. I think it's really important to consider that sometimes moving forward and doing something positive for yourself often helps others and allows you to be more authentic to yourself and authentic in a relationship as well. And I think that's what Spirit's trying to tell you today. So I hope this message reaches you and resonates with you, and I really would love to hear if you have any sorts of messages to share that might resonate with these transits and these cards. And I look forward to talking to you in the next video. Bye.